WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. And welcome. We are live broadcasting from the Radio 1 studio in downtown Silver Spring, Maryland. And as always, we are set for an amazing show. Go to marketingpulpit.com. You can watch the show live. You can also catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on LinkedIn. You can catch us on Twitter. And, of course, Facebook Live. Let's see. This is September 8th, and we are still in the September. September got a lot of observances coming up. Somebody told me that this is the better breakfast month. I need to take note. Now, you know what I've been doing for the last few months? I used to go to McDonald's and get this fritter. And that thing, they should have given you like, what do you call those? Defibrillator with it. Greasy, salty, bready. Now I get an oatmeal. So I've been getting an oatmeal for about a year now. It's also National Hispanic Heritage Month. It's National Courtesy Month. Thank you. It's also Fruit and Veggie Month. National Piano Month. I'm going to have to dust off my keys. Sickle Cell Awareness Month. Suicide Prevention Month. And Save Your Photos Month. So if you have all those photos on your phone, go ahead and save them because let me tell you something about saving those photos. Content is king. And a lot of those photos you have on your phones and hard drives can be repurposed. So I'm glad you didn't throw those away. We got an exciting show. We're going to be talking about purpose. Promoting on purpose, purpose-driven marketing. And I've been pumping this horn forever that if you want to, one of the keys to success is to tie your business to some type of purpose, to some type of mission. We're going to talk about that coming up. And also we have a special guest today. We have Miss Amina Hammond. She is from HBCU Legging, talking about somebody who's promoting on purpose. Man, you have to hear this story. She's going to be coming. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have her wave at you right quick. Hey, hello there, Amina. There she is, over there, pretty smile. So she's going to be coming on here talking about HBCU Leggings. She's going to tell us about her company, and she's got some exciting things going on. So if you're out there and you're trying to start a business and you're trying to decide what to do next and how to watch how it's done, then this young lady is doing it. Don't forget to get your business into the Marketing Pulpit Business Directory. It is one of the hottest things going right now. Matter of fact, a couple of our members we were featuring last week. I was over at the MGM Grand over in National Harbor. This fantastic group, 222 Productions. Eric and Derek and Tammy and Broderick had a great showing over there. So I came over there and hung out with them for a while. And that's the kind of things you get by dealing with the Marketing Pulpit. We get down into the trenches, we roll up our sleeves, and I get out there and do it with you. We had our first Friday networking event. Our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. They have the virtual offices. They have 3 locations, one in Largo, one in National Harbor, one in College Park, which is a hub zone. They had their first Friday. We had a packed house. We had a dynamic speaker, Michelle and Benita, talking about transforming from your personal credit to your business credit. And they were, and like I said, BLE is a sponsor of this show. You can go find out more about them going to blesuites.com and also going to their website, BLE Suites, and they're on Facebook, and they're in the business directory. Also, coming up, we're going to have the Minister of Wellness is having an event next week. As a matter of fact, he and Rock Newman, the big boxing promoter, they're going to be on the show next week on that's September 15th. He has a big event coming up talking about health and wellness, and that's going to be at over in Washington, D.C. at Union Temple Baptist Church. You can also find that in the directory. Go to mpi.bz, and while you're there, get your name in the directory. Let's see what else is going on. We have new members in the directory. To a T Art Design T-shirts. They're doing original T-shirts. They're over in Hanover, Maryland, and out of Los Angeles. It's law firm specializing in disability. Monahan Tucker Law out of Los Angeles, California. So if you want to be into the action,
like we say, don't curse the darkness, light a candle. If you want things to happen, don't sit around and complain and moan and groan. Get out here and do something, and we're making it easy for you to do just that. Go and join mpi.bz and get your name in the directory so we can shout you out here on the marketing pulpit. And we actually have some advertising plans too, so that we can actually bring you into the studio and get your word out here. This is the marketing pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, where I teach marketing, I teach networking, I teach branding, I teach, let's see, what else I teach? Social media. And so I have a quite lineup over there. Matter of fact, we're going to be starting up again at the end of this month with a course in branding at Employ Prince George's. Also, I teach a course over there at the National Harbor, and I'll be doing that in September. So go to marketingpulpit.com. You can catch up what's going on with me and what's going on with all these other things that are going on, and find out more about our guests, like Ms. Hammond, who's going to be coming on shortly. Let's talk about quickly what's happening in the news. Man, the news just keeps on coming. Now, here's a story from the Department of Social Media. Is going to be end of all of us department. A teenager in Massachusetts died after eating a spicy tortilla chip as part of a social media challenge. How many of these stories do I have to hear before we start? I've been preaching that since social media first started. We have to be responsible, and we have to don't jump on every challenge out here. That was a bad idea. This young man, he ate it's called Packy chip. It's supposed to be the hottest chip in the world. He's 14 years old. They said it. They had a warning on the package that's for adults on it. He ate it. He was getting ready to go to basketball practice. He fell out. His mom took him to the hospital. Around later that day, he was pronounced dead. Folks, that's not the kind of news we want. Also, here's a story from the A Camera is Everywhere department. In Prince George's County, right here in Maryland, this is going viral. This police car, this guy's out here kissing his girlfriend or whatever out there in this park. And then they decided to climb into the back seat, and now he has lost his job. And this once again shows that there is a camera everywhere, people. Do not do all this foolish stuff and think that nobody's watching. Whatever you're doing, just know there's a camera on you. And this police officer found out the hard way that there is a camera everywhere. The last story we're going to talk about in D.C., there is a growing, this is a disturbing story. They're actually starting to take some of the name brands off the shelf of some of these grocery stores like Target and Giant. They're trying to combat this theft, where they have these grab and runs, these mobs, and it's gotten out of hand. So stores like Giant, they took Tide, Colgate, Advil off the shelf to try to deter some of this stealing. I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that we're going to have to address ourselves. We have to address things like police shooting our kids. We have to address things like teenage pregnancy, gun violence. But we also have to address this. This is a problem we have to address in our community because it impacts us. Whenever I hear somebody talk about food deserts and unemployment and there's no good stores in town, it's usually the result. What's the old rule of? Every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Well, all this stealing and grabbing and running and mob flashes and so forth, it's going to come back and hurt our community. So I'm going to entreat our civil rights leaders, our social justice leaders, that as we combat some of these other issues, let's also let's find out what it is that's caused people run into a store and grab merchandise without paying. I'm sure poverty, racism, and a few other things are contributing, but we have to take a more proactive role to make sure that these things don't negatively impact the communities in which we live. And that's something I'm willing to take the reins and lead the charge. Quickly, we're talking about our theme today, promoting on purpose. Now, I've been saying this for many years, and I'm going to continue to say it. If you want a business to last and be sustainable, you have to tether it to something other than just making money. So that's why I'm talking about how adding a purpose to your business is actually going to make your business more likely to succeed. For instance, when you align your values and your purpose with your audience, then you are more likely to get loyalty out of that audience. Having a purpose actually improves your brand. Okay, what do people think about when they see your brand? Do they think about a company that's just out here trying to make money and make a fast buck, or do they see you tied to something that's greater? Now, when you offer sustainable and ethical products, also, that helps you come up with more and more items. So let's say if you have a brand and your brand is supposed to help people feel better, you are actually going to start finding more products to fill that need. So you get more ideas on what products to offer if you have a purpose. Also, having a purpose differentiates you from your competitors. People like to label companies and businesses as these money-hungry capitalists. But if you have a brand and that brand is tied to a purpose, it helps separate you from some of these competitors. Branding will make that base more loyal because, as we know, customers can be very fickle. I mean, they're here today, gone tomorrow. But if they feel some type of connection through you, through your purpose, they are much more likely to stay around. Now, if you're constantly looking to expand your base, then a purpose will help attract you to other types of similar bases tied to your purpose. And I've been saying this once again, if you are looking for partners, you cannot do this alone. I'm telling you, if you're out here trying to start a business and you're trying to grow and get big, it's impossible. If it's not impossible, it's extremely difficult. So what you want to do is use your brand and your purpose to attract those vital stakeholders that are necessary to survive. Things like partners, resellers, customers, supply chain. Many companies started. Matter of fact, I got a call from a young lady about a week ago. She was panicking. She said, Robert, I'm not calling you today to help me grow my business. She said, I have that covered. She said, and I've said this once again, I cannot get the supply. She said, I cannot get the supply. Can you help me find some supply chains or some investors, somebody can actually help me grow my market because I'm having a difficult time getting the supplies. So once again, by having a purpose that's tied to a brand, it attracts those stakeholders and allow you to leverage them. Okay? And also purpose also drives innovation. And last but not least, your purpose, when you have that story to tell, man, how many times have I said this? A good story. We are living in the era right now where content marketing is king. So if you have that purpose, bring that purpose into your promotion, into your social media, onto your website, into your email marketing. So you want to make sure that that purpose makes this appearance in your promotion. And also, the last thing I'm going to say about purpose is there's a personal enjoyment that comes along with having a purpose. Because sometimes the money's just not there. Anybody who's been in business knows this. You take more than money to keep this thing going. So having a purpose, knowing that you're making a difference, that you're doing something more than just trying to make a buck, having that purpose sometimes will sustain you when everything else has failed. So on that note, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to bring our special guest, Miss Amina Hammond with HBCU Legends. Can't wait to talk to her. Man, I'm telling you, I've been following her. This is an exciting product, exciting service, a very professional and knowledgeable, experienced, and dynamic leader. So hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit. We'll be right back in a moment. So don't you go anywhere.
Let me explain why we are not your typical directory. First and foremost, we don't wait for visitors to come to our directory. Instead, we proactively take our members directly to the shoppers with our aggressive advertising campaigns. For instance, we broadcast our own radio show on Radio 1 WOL 95.9 FM, on which we constantly promote the directory and its members. In addition to that, we advertise our directory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We also feature our members on individual social media posts. And we invite our members into our studio to tell their exciting story to thousands of potential buyers. So,
I see you back in the background. Hey! Well, folks, we are going to be going back on the air live here. I have my special guest over here. Matter of fact, you slide up a little bit closer. All right. Bring your mic with you.
All right.
All right, folks, this is the Marketing Pulpit. We're about to go back live in a couple of seconds. So hang on there. This is Amina. And go to Marketing Pulpit and don't forget to share this show with others. So hang on a second. We're about to go live again. All right, this is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are back live here at Silver Spring at the Radio 1 studio. And I'm back here. I'm glad to bring, when I come back, this magic trick, and voila, Amina just popped up out of the ground. We need to get right up on that microphone so I can hear you.
All right.
You don't put it in your face either, so right there. All right.
How's that?
All right, you sound great. You sound great. Oh, folks, this is the Marketing Pulpit Show. Go to marketingpulpit.com. You can follow the show. You can also catch us on LinkedIn. You can catch us on Facebook. This show is going to be available after the fact on YouTube and Twitter, but also go to marketingpulpit.com. Follow us and share this information. And I want to welcome my special guest, Miss Amina Hammond. And Amina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm excited about having you on this show because I've been following you. And I'm like, wow, I am just so happy. You know, I'm always like, I'm kind of like a kid. I'm like giddy when I see some of my folks out here doing well and just got it together, not just throwing up a business just for business sake to say I have a business, but somebody that's doing it the right way. And so you are that person. You are the embodiment of practically a lot of the things that I talk about on my show. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience quickly here?
All right. My name is Amina Hammond. As mentioned, I'm the owner of HBCU Leggings. I am also a proud alumna of Howard University, where I studied animation at the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts.
See, I didn't even know that. You got some skills.
Yes.
You got skills, girl. You got skills.
And actually, before we jump in, I brought something for you.
For me?
This is for you. It's one of my favorites.
Get out.
Original says HBCU made on it. And that is some of my illustration work. And that's just for you. Thank you for having me.
Tito, where's the teacher? I'm so emotional. Thank you, Amina.
You're welcome.
That's man, she's a class act. I'm telling you, that's why she's so successful. You see, I'm watching it manifest itself right in front of me. What I want you to do this. Tell us about your what inspired you to come up with HBCU Leggings.
Well, it's interesting because in 2020, I actually led a t-shirt fundraiser amongst a group of other Howard alumni. So a group called the Ladies of Howard University. We wanted to do a fundraiser, and I did the design, and in just 2 weeks, we were able to raise $17,000 and donate that back to Howard. $17,000. Yes, it was amazing. And, you know, it just really opened my eyes to, I never thought that something I designed could be so impactful. And so I was just hooked from there, and I wanted to see how far I could take it amongst Howard. And I realized, oh, there's a big demand, you know, at other schools too. And so I just started there and kept expanding.
But for the one or two people out here who do not know what HBCU represents, let's kind of bring these folks who have been in the cave for the last 20 years.
Sure. HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities.
And now, how many of those schools are you representing right now with your merchandise?
So right now I am in 9. I'm licensed with 9 HBCUs. Yes, so that includes Howard, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Hampton, Spelman, Jackson State, Tuskegee, West Virginia State, and newly Morgan State University.
I bet you when I get off this air, I'm going to call Livingstone College and say, what's the hold up here? I'm giving you a hot lead now. I know some folks over there. So Livingstone and Salisbury, North Carolina. That's not HBCU, okay?
I'm always expanding. I have a far way to go to cover all 107.
I want representation. I'm feeling left out over here. A little FOMO hitting me. Now, what motivates you though? Like I said, in the business, you need some type of motivation to keep this engine moving. What motivates you?
I mean, obviously my love for Howard, my experience there, and wanting to be able to do something helpful and beneficial to all HBCUs who are just historically underfunded. But honestly, it's just one of the greatest parts of my life, attending there. And so I'm passionate about being able to represent the school, help others represent, spread information about it, and also donate. And then also I just learned that, in the collegiate apparel space,
Mhm.
as an alumni, you're always excited to represent where you went, and more so these last few years. But as a female, as an alumna, there's just not a lot of cute and fashionable options in that space. And so I wanted to really focus on the women of HBCUs, especially considering how high it's like 70% of attendance at HBCUs are female. And so I wanted to focus on that demographic and bring something fresh and new to that market.
That's called smart marketing, by the way. You go after the audience. Yeah, that's 70, 80%. That's where you want to focus. Anyway, I ain't mad at you. I'm telling you. I'm saying that's a smart system. Now, walk us through the process for, you focusing on the HBCUs. So what's that process? What's is there some element in your design and your process that focuses on the HBCUs?
Sure. So the fact that I was trained at an HBCU, it really means that I'm always bringing that to the design. So I'm the lead designer, and I try to incorporate a lot of my own personal artistry, illustration. So you'll see that most of my designs, I try to include artwork in some way every time, or some sort of illustration or hand-drawn artwork. But also I like to incorporate Ankara patterns, and Ankara, for anyone who doesn't know, is just like traditional African print. And so I really love tying that in, because I think people don't think about as much the fact that HBCUs were established shortly after the Emancipation Proclamation, so that 1865, 1867 span. And so these schools were erected to educate those freed slaves. So there's just such a close connection, but it's not always at the forefront. So I like to make sure that that's tied into.
So are you planning to include some more designs, some more schools? And what's your future plans look like?
Yeah.
Before you answer that, folks, this is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I have my special guest, Miss Amina Hammond. If you have a question, call us at 1-800-450-7876. I see some people tuning in online. I see LaTanya. Hi, LaTanya. Hey, WM Graphics. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. And the number is 1-800-450-7876. If you have a question for our guest. So yeah, what does the future look like? I know it's bright, but what do you plan to get some? Because somebody can order something besides leggings. Is that correct?
Yes. So the core product is leggings, but I also design blankets, t-shirts, and seasonally hoodies. And so as far as the future plans, I want to just add more of those things, but also continue to add new licenses with schools, because like you, I always run into people like, you don't have my school. And so
what's up with that?
I know, but
you gotta move me up the list. I brought you on the show.
I'll get there. I gotta pace myself, but
I know.
but yeah, so I want to continue to add licenses, and on my website, I actually have a form where people can request their school, and so I'm adding them on an ongoing basis by demand. So
I gotta fill out the form. Can I just write it down?
You're sitting here, but for anybody else,
perks, y'all. I got perks.
You gotta go to hbculeggings.com and submit the form.
Let me tell you something, folks. These designs, just like the licensing of getting your school represented, this is a hot ticket right now. I'm telling you. You're going to see, matter of fact, the folks at Howard coming up to home. When is homecoming?
Homecoming is the weekend of the 21st, October 21st.
I'm telling you, right now, you Howardians, you better get over to that website, the Bison. Okay. The Bison, that's what you call a bull or something, a buffalo, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Something like that.
Get your bison self over to hbculeggings.com and get your jacket, leggings, shirt, or whatever, because they're going to sell out. I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to wish that on you. That's a good problem to have, don't it?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to have as much problem, but they're going to sell out because this product is so hot right now. The demand has exceeded the capacity to produce. So you better get on over there. And she's working on it. Because we were talking before the show, and she's got some stuff. I mean, Howard University just bought up the supply of jackets. Now you got to go out and make some more jackets.
Yes. Yes, that's correct. So my products will be in the Howard bookstore and actually in 14 HBCU bookstores this fall. But Howard did sweep in and bought my entire first round of jackets, which was a new release. And so I'm going to be conducting another round, and I'll be opening up a pre-sale this coming week. So September 13th. Look out for the pre-sale announcement and make sure you get in on that second round of jackets.
Oh, well, my time is running out. How can somebody find out more about this amazing product, please?
So you can visit the website, hbculeggings.com. And you can also follow us on social media, mainly Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn at HBCU Leggings.
Thank you very much. Folks, I could talk to this young lady all day. Can't you just feel the excitement and purpose in her tone? Talking about purpose, here it is, right here next to me, Miss Amina Hammond with HBCU Leggings. And that's really going to wrap up our show for today. Go to marketingpulpit.com and share this show with others. You can go back and let other folks see it. You can watch it again. Also, catch us on YouTube, catch us on Facebook, catch us on LinkedIn, catch us on Twitter. And I'll be looking to follow Miss Amina as she blows the heck up. And we'll be back next week with another exciting show as we close every show. If you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
That was great.
All right, folks. That wraps up another show. Thank you for tuning in. Now get on over to HBCU Leggings, and I want to thank everybody who's tuning in online, and we'll be back next week with an exciting show. And Amina, like I said, once again, thank you. I see so many great things. And look, folks, you talking about, did this lady have plans for it? Brought me a shirt, and I love black t-shirts.
Oh, good.
I really do, so thank you a lot.
No problem.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. We'll see you next week at the same time right here on the Marketing Pulpit. Thank you again, and I am out of here.
I think everyone with a disability
Trying to be out of here.